Alright, this video is going to be on Pro Tack. This is a continuation of my video I did yesterday. If you haven't seen it, you might want to stop this and go back and watch it, or make sure you watch it right after this. Either way. This is another one of the video series that I'm going to break down from EA Sports. This is the developer series videos that kind of went hand in hand with the blogs, and I think it's important that we note that these were meant to promote the game. You see the game being displayed there in the lower right hand corner. At the end of this video you'll see the release date for Madden 10 comes up. So I understand why these videos may have been put out to ease the fears people had in the transition from Madden 09 to Madden 10. At the end of the day, EA would never let anything negative come about their product. And again, these were probably most likely meant to help sell the game. So let's play a few clips of this, and then I'll give you guys my opinion, and then you can, as always, give me yours.
It ended up branching out into a lot of other areas. We knew we wanted it to be really authentic and really very realistic. That was a big goal. I mean, the fact that it ends up wrapping up so many features, from blocking to tackling, it ends up, kind of a dynamic technology that people can add on at different points and change the way the outcome of the play is affected.
Okay, so I have no problems with this so far. It sounds great. Dynamic technology, people can come in at different points and change how the play is. As long as, like he says, it's based in being realistic and physics are being respected, this sounds great. So let's continue to play just from this point.
It's not just a bunch of people attaching and tackling the guy. It actually moves the pile dynamically based on how many people are there, how strong they are, how fast they were moving when they came in. So it ends up giving you a lot more of a physics-based feel, a lot more dynamic and realistic. When you see that 8.
Okay, so just 50 seconds into this video, we've heard the word dynamic used a lot. So what bothers me the most about that whole 1 minute, clip was the words physics-based feel. If it feels like it's physics-based, then that means it isn't. If you're telling me it just feels like it's physics-based. So if it's not physics-based, what was it actually based on? And of course, once the game came out, we've read in the manual that it is an animation-based system. But in this video, which came out about a month or two before the release of the game, we get a lot of words like dynamic and technology fed to us, when in reality, you see here that it's just an animation-based, animation-driven tackling system. Again, he touched on players being able to change the direction of the pile with speed, momentum, and force. I question that. I think a lot of people question that have played this game. So I just want to go ahead and fast forward a little bit and play another segment here.
Game 2, and 3, it's core to football. It's not a gimmick.
And really, it's about kind of creating a lot more dynamic tackling.
Okay, so here again, dynamic tackling, this is core to the game. We've already been told that this is implemented across Madden, through blocking, through everything, just regular tackling. So obviously this is a big change for them. So then again, you just hear a little bit more reiteration that this isn't a gimmick, this is something that they've put a good amount of time and effort into, and we're just going to fast forward a little bit here and play another clip where they talk about where they got the idea for Pro Tack.
Of the game.
We brought up images of NFL action, and one of the images we saw a lot was, these massive scrums. And we started off a lot of our presentations with this image. It was a shot of Eli Manning, getting wrapped up. I think it was with the Cowboys, maybe. It was like 8 or 9 Cowboys trying to bring him down, and it was a moment we've never had in the game before. So that image was kind of the catalyst for a lot of these different things happening in our product.
And one of the cool things about the game tackles, too.
Okay, so there you hear the catalyst for this all was a video clip of Eli Manning breaking away from a group of defenders. Now, I don't know if that's the best idea to try to capture and bring into a game. There's obviously much better examples of gang tackling than an evasive quarterback, and you could argue Eli Manning is an evasive quarterback. And in the beginning there, when he talked, you heard a lot about, you heard a little bit about scrum piles. Now, to me, a scrum pile and a gang tackle are two separate things. So that whole 30-second, background of Pro Tack, I'm a little confused. Did you base it on a video of Eli Manning, or did you base it on pictures of scrum piles? And that just goes back to the beginning. Is it based on physics, speed, momentum, agility, player strength? Or is it based on something else to provide a physics-based feel? So we're just going to skip forward and play 2 more clips here.
and I think that's a big wow moment to the game.
On top of all that, it's control that we've never given consumers before. So, you know, the fact that we're doing such cool stuff visually, and the fact that you're going to see moments you've never seen in a Madden game, and you can control them, I think it's pretty amazing.
It's probably the biggest task we...
Okay, so there again, I'll question the user control that he brings up. Like I said, I've seen enough of Pro Tack where I really think it voids me of player control. I think it takes away the ability to control all my players. I think it takes some of my players out of plays. It takes some of my players into the play when maybe I don't have control over that player. And we're just going to go ahead and play this to the end here, just as a continuation.
Ever done animation-wise. And I mean, I think it's paying off. It's the biggest change I can think of in Madden history in terms of a one-year jump in gameplay. It's not about, you know, just long animations that look pretty. It's making sure that they're authentic and they're realistic as well.
Okay, so there we have, in maybe a 2-minute span of this video, a lot of information and then a lot of changing information. In the beginning, we're talking about dynamics, we're talking about technology, we're talking about physics, and then at the end, we're talking about animations. And there in the end, he says, you know, it's not just about these long, pretty animations, it's about keeping them realistic. And I think when you bring this all together, it really was telling us that Pro Tack is an animations-based system, and they've tried their best to root it in physics, but it's not. So, your opinions on this, your thoughts on this, do you feel like Pro Tack gave you more control as a user? Do you feel like it added something to the game? Do you feel like it should stay in Madden? My personal thought is it added very little to the game. It actually, in my opinion, hurt the game. When I see some of the things that I've seen it do, it probably does more harm than it does good in the scope of things, because one broken touchdown is all it takes for me to get, you know, angry about it and know that you know, it's possible to do that every time. I, again, dislike the fact that I have user control, but if they had implemented it a proper way, I think it could be, you know, wonderful. If it was physics-based, if players' position, speed, size, momentum, if all that strength, if all that mattered, it would be great. But the way they put it into the game with just another animation-based series, I think it probably needs to go until they have the technology or have stepped up their technology enough to, you know, properly put it in the game. I don't think this game needs any more animation-based objects. I think that we've already learned from some other videos that they've kind of run out of animation space with some of the other things, such as, you know, cornerback, defensive back interactions, offensive line, defensive line interactions. They said they've kind of reached their cap with animations. So it bothers me that this whole animation system was brought into the game but sold as a technology. So again, your guys' opinions, your guys' thoughts, your guys' input, really appreciate it, and I hope to make maybe 1 or 2 more of these videos and get your guys' thoughts on how this game was sold to the public and marketed to the public, and ultimately what ended up in our hands as a final product, and how you feel videos like this accurately represented what was actually being done in the game.